Hi, I'm Bob. You may know me from such things as
B-Swizzle is a piece of shit before we move on.
Yeah, you're a piece of
He's a racist now.
This nigga's out of his mind.
I asked Flawd if I could make a drum cover for Freakshow, and he said yes. Then one time we were talking shit back and forth. Flawd looked right at the camera and he said, "You can't make Freakshow, nigga." Roll the clip.
Hey, Swizz.
Oh shit.
I heard you like to come.
And while that may be true, I like proving you wrong better. So I took all of yesterday, December 13th, to record the footage I needed, record that audio into FL Studio, mix down the track, and then make this video. Enjoy.
Found another broken toy outside a dump. I know a boy that probably drunk. We hope enjoy to have it. Said we don't need to pay to fix it. It was green to paint and chipping. Maybe we could paint it different. That's it. In a child left long ago. See the time is to crawl away. Feet of fire with the fallen roses. Hear the sirens and I fall away. Keep going on it regardless. Cause the freak show's always a common promise. Please hold, I'm on the call, we ready to go. Keep your dog on the harness. Cause the beast grow hard as a bombing comet. Please hold, I'm on the call, we ready to go. Life is numbing, so avoided. Mindless loves of potent poison. Find a cup and go enjoy the last sip. Cause I be wrong to say we'll be okay. Want it when it's real pay. Darling, we'll be DOA. Driven miles on the longest road. In the wild, it's a commonplace. Single file with the lost and hopeless. With a smile written on my face. Keep going on it regardless. Cause the freak show's always a common promise. Please hold, I'm on the call, we ready to go. Keep your dog on the harness. Cause the beast grow hard as a bombing comet. Please hold, I'm on the call, we ready to go.
I'm going to attempt to try to explain how I figured out the Freakshow key and chords and figured out how to play it. I used music theory and the circle of fifths in order to find the key, which then allows me to find what chords are available within that key, which makes it easier to play. The easiest thing to do would be to figure out the lead part right at the beginning. I basically just learned it by ear and figured it out on the guitar. Found this note. And when I figured that out, that note that I'm playing right here is a G sharp, or it could be an A flat depending on the key. It goes from the G sharp or A flat up a half step, so that would be an A, and then there's this note down here, or played over here down a whole step. So now that I have that information, those three notes, an F sharp or a G flat, a G sharp or an A flat, and an A. And using the circle of fifths in music theory, the circle of fifths, you can get a lot of information off of it because it tells you keys based on the number of sharps or flats that they have. Up at the top is the key of C, which has 0 sharps and 0 flats. As you move to the right of the circle of fifths, add 1 sharp. So the key of G has 1 sharp. The key of D has 2 sharps. The key of A has 3 sharps, and so on. If you move to the left of the circle of fifths, you add a flat. So the key of F has 1 flat. The key of B flat has 2 flats. The key of E has 3 flats, and so on until you get to the bottom at G flat. I have the notes F sharp, G sharp, A, or I have G flat, A. When learning the circle of fifths, there is some memorization. You have to memorize the order of sharps and flats. The order of sharps is F, C, G, D, A, E, B. The order of flats is that in reverse. It's B, E, A, D, G, C, F. So, I already know I'm not in the key of C because I played an F sharp, a G sharp, and an A, or a G flat, an A flat, and an A. Using the order of sharps, F, C, G, D, A, E, B, if I played a G sharp, I already know that there has to be 3 sharps in it. That doesn't mean that that's the exact key. It just means it can't be a key with only F and C or F sharp. C, G, and D are out. If it's in a flat key with G flat, A flat, or A, I don't think it's that, because typically music is standardized so you don't repeat notes. Like having A flat and A in the same key, you would have a B or a B flat or something like that. That wouldn't make sense in this case. So we wouldn't use G flat, A flat, A. I believe that it is a sharp key. Also, guitars are tuned to the key of E, so that's a good place to start as well. And E would have 4 sharps. It would be F, C, G, and D in that key. If we start at E and take each letter of the scale, we would have E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. We can now apply the order of sharps that we have, F, C, G, and D, and we would have E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E, giving us the E major scale. As a side note, there are way easier ways to find out the major scale, especially if you know the key, than doing it this way. This just happened to be the way that I did it based off of the 3 notes that I had figured out. Knowing that information, the circle of fifths is also important because once we know the notes and what key we're in, we can build triads or chords off of those notes to know what chords we have available within that key. An E chord contains the notes E, G sharp, and B. So after I figured out that was the first chord, I now know that I have these chords available. So then it was just try and test them out amongst the chords as I'm listening to it to then figure out the C sharp minor, the G sharp minor, and the B. The only chord that threw me off was they borrowed a chord at the beginning parts where it's just the acoustic guitar. Instead of the G minor, they make it a major chord. To a C sharp, to a G sharp major, to a B. And what's also interesting is if you swap the G sharp major and the C sharp minor, you get it doesn't really have to do with anything. I just thought that was interesting. After I figured out those chords, then I was able to extrapolate that to the bass and the piano and just build those same chord structures on those different instruments and then come up with some sort of drum beat. And that's it. That's how I figured out the song.